Hi guys, welcome back to the Early Show with me, Pastor Gina, where I share with you news as well as unpack real-world events and offer practical advice, all from a Dharma perspective to help us to navigate the challenges that we face every day. Before we start on today's video, I would just like to say a big thank you to the sponsor of today's video, who wishes to remain anonymous but would like to dedicate their contribution towards all beings' liberation from suffering and attainment of compassion, wisdom, and true happiness. Thank you so much for your sponsorship and for your continued support of this program. So today's topic might ruffle a few feathers because it concerns something that's considered very precious by many people. We're told that we should covet it, we're told that we should want to have it, and if we don't have it or we don't want to have it, then we're told that there's something wrong with us. And you guessed it, it is about children. So let's get a couple of things out of the way first. First, there is no requirement in Buddhism that people have to be married in order to become a parent or in order to have children. Similarly, Buddhism does not teach that it is someone's duty to have kids. For Buddhists who feel that they should, it is cultural tradition and not because the scriptures say that it is our spiritual obligation to have kids. So that's right, you want to have kids? Up to you. You don't want to have kids? Also up to you. But know this, there is a reason why monks and nuns remain celibate and don't have kids, so that they can direct their full energy and full purpose towards their spiritual practice instead of being distracted by other elements. So let's say you already have kids, or let's say you're planning to have kids. What are you going to do? What our Guru His Eminence Sam Tuku Rinpoche explained is that if you're going to have children, make sure that you raise them with Dharma imprints, Dharma values, and Dharma ethics so that they can grow up to become agents of change to affect positivity in this world. Having kids should not be about fixing a relationship. It should not be about mending a marriage. And it should not be because you're feeling obligated to do so because you're married or because you're feeling pressured to provide grandchildren and so on. What Buddhism does teach is that when you want to have kids, try your best to make sure that you're prepared, that you're ready, and that you're in a position to impart the right lessons and the right values onto your children. Teach them to lead with compassion and to lead with kindness, as opposed to valuing external markers of success and identifying themselves based on that. The world in samsara is structured such that we're constantly being bombarded by messages about how we're not good enough, about how if we buy this one last thing, we'll be better, about how if we change this one small thing, about our appearance will be better or will be considered a success. But all of that is hogwash. If you think about yourself and you think about your own experiences and you think about the traumas that you live out and replay every single day, the same traumas that you developed as a result of your childhood and your upbringing, why on earth would you want to put your children through the exact same experience? When you yourself have spent so many years trying to undo the experiences that you had as a child and the habituations that you developed, why on earth would you want to put your child through the same process and go through the same cycle? So now you're a parent. Now you've got that responsibility. I want to tell you this, that as a parent, what Buddhism does teach is that the ultimate responsibility for any Buddhist, for any practitioner, is to make sure that all beings become enlightened, that all beings get out of samsara, and that all beings become Buddhas. And that really means all beings, including your children. Welcome to this week's It's a Plant-Based Life, where we talk about plant-based news, plant-based products, plant-based facts, and basically everything that you need to know in order to live a more plant-based life. This week's topic is inspired by a friend who told me that out of all the things that he finds most difficult to give up, it is eggs. Now, why is it that vegans choose to give up eggs? First of all, it's their living conditions and how hens are raised, either for meat or either for their eggs, to minimize costs and to maximize production, which already sounds weird because you're treating a life as a commodity. The vast majority of chickens are raised in battery farms. They are kept in cramped, confined, filthy spaces with no fresh air, no space to run around, and no room to move. They sleep and eat where they poop, one on top of the other, and not only do they suffer from disease, but because chickens are extremely intelligent creatures, they also suffer from boredom. And so being stuck in these cages without stimulation leads them to engage in destructive behaviors such as feather plucking. Because of this, many chickens are debeaked to prevent them from injuring one another. Then, because male chicks have not much use or utility to the poultry industry, they're killed almost immediately after they're born. Immediately after birth, chicks are checked for their sex and male chicks are commonly thrown alive into a grinder. So why do vegans give up eggs? Animal exploitation issues and animal welfare issues, that's one. Or two rather. Then aside from all of that, an egg is the offspring of a sentient being, so why would you want to eat that? Okay, so going back to my friend's comment about how he can't give up eggs. Whilst I can't promise you a perfect, easy substitute for a perfectly cooked egg with a runny yolk, I can talk about egg substitutes for all of your other cooking needs right here. Obviously, there are going to be some structural differences and some structural changes in what it is that you're going to make because they're not always a perfect one-for-one substitute, but I can promise you that they are very, very close. For example, my favorite vegan banana pancake recipe uses ripe mashed bananas in the place of eggs, and I promise you, you can't even tell the difference. So pause this video, take a screenshot, and take all of the notes that you need to, and the next time you're cooking, give it a try, let me know what you think, and let me know how it turned out for you. Welcome back to this week's weekly roundup, where I tell you about news and events that are happening throughout the organization, as well as things that have happened in the past week. So for those of you in Malaysia, you know that we went back into lockdown earlier this week. And I know that that is something that many people are going to be struggling with. And so there are programs coming up this week which you might find helpful. On Wednesday, May 19th, Pastor Nero will be accepting prayer requests. So please do check in with him to submit your requests. Please dedicate your prayers to everyone's healing and to the alleviation of everyone's suffering. And as you know, with the lockdown coming back into place, a lot of people are going to be reaching out to soup kitchens and food banks all over the country in search of assistance. If you can, please do go and support your local soup kitchen, just like a Char Soup Kitchen. Get some friends together, virtually together, and see how you can, as a group, lend a hand or contribute to the cause. And finally, Wednesday Day is just right around the corner, so please do get your offerings done whilst you still can. It is the most auspicious day for Buddhists all over the world, and I won't explain why because that's been done in previous week's videos, but don't miss out on this once-a-year opportunity to create lots and lots of merits. Alright, that's it from me for this week. Thank you so much for joining me this week and for joining me every other week. And thank you so much to the anonymous sponsor of today's video. If you would like to contribute to a program just like this person has done, there is a link in the description section. I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Stay home, stay safe, and as ever, don't forget to be kind to each other. Bye!